All right, so we're gonna be getting straight to the point with today's video, guys. Essentially, I'm putting together a small group of highly skilled Panther car owners, and we're gonna be putting those skills to the ultimate test. And what better proving grounds to put those skills to the ultimate test than the tail of the dragon? The goal is essentially to set a tier list of what are the fastest Panther cars, whether it's Marauders, Grand Marquis, town cars, it could be an 87, it doesn't matter, whatever the fastest Panther cars that attend. Essentially what I'm planning is setting a future template, a future list that any future Panther car owner on their own time, if they ever visit the Tail of the Dragon, can try and take a crack at this list. So whatever drivers end up showing to this event will pretty much set the benchmark for any and all future Panther car owners on the Tail of the Dragon. So essentially, no matter how slow or fast you're able to complete this road, you're pretty much setting the bar. You're setting the benchmark for anybody, no matter how slow of a time you have or how fast of a time you have. So if anybody's familiar with the racing show, the Street Outlaws, they eventually have a list. Essentially what the list is pretty much the fastest cars in the United States. And what these guys do is they gather around every couple weekends or every couple months, and they compete to see who can make their way up the list. So this Tail of the Dragon tier list is the equivalent of that Street Outlaws list. There's going to be tiers 1 through 10, and each driver will be assigned a decal with whatever tier they ended up making it in. So the drivers that place 3rd, 2nd, and 1st will be issued a golden Tail of the Dragon tier 1, 2, or 3, depending on whatever time they were able to complete the road in. And then every driver placed in 4th through 10th tier will just get a regular decal that'll say Tail of the Dragon tier 4, 5, 6, whatever it is that they were able to complete. So the top dogs will be tier 1 through 3. Those will be assigned the golden decals, but that just means they had completed the road in the fastest time. Tier 4 through 10 is still going to be part of making history, because you're pretty much going to be a gatekeeper. You guys will be setting the bar for anybody else who's trying to move up that list. With 318 turns in just 11 miles, bordering the Great Smoky Mountains between Tennessee and North Carolina, the Tail of the Dragon is the ultimate proving grounds to test your driving skills. This road is located between North Carolina and Tennessee, and this event isn't a call out to everybody in the nation. It's not a car meet. We're gonna get straight to business. We're just gonna drive the road, and then we'll all meet up at the diner. I'll cover all the expenses for that. You know, it'll be my treat on the drivers that do show up. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is this isn't something that I want people coming from Arizona from, or Texas or anything like that. Pretty much if you're local to Tennessee or North Carolina or anywhere around there and you actually do want to come out, keep in mind I'm only looking for somebody who's decently skilled, who knows how to drive the hell out of their cars, who's going to be safe, who's not going to be reckless. The Tail of the Dragon is extremely dangerous. People have completely wrecked their cars. People have even lost their lives driving on this road. This is not something to take lightly. This isn't anything where we're going to come out and be crazy and just be reckless and dangerous. That's not what we're trying to do here, guys. So like I said, this is going to be local to Tennessee and to North Carolina. If you're around there and you want to come out, just want to make sure that you are a responsible driver, that your car is somewhat modified to handle the curves, and I will touch base on that in just a second, and that you're skilled enough, you're mature enough to take this serious and not be reckless and put yourself in danger or put anybody else in danger that's on this road as well. There have been so many people that have died doing this road that there's a literal death map. There is a death map, a Tail of the Dragon death map that's come out. Don't believe me? Here it is. As far back as I could remember, there was always an obsession I had with rallycross and hill climb cars. Nothing like a bare bones, stripped down hunk of metal doing over 100 miles per hour around a mountainside cliff to really get the blood pumping. Now, unfortunately for me, building a $100,000 race car to tackle the likes of Pikes Peak is an absolute impossibility. At least for my broke ass it is. But you know what is possible? That is turning a $1,500, 4,000 pound old police car into a corner shredding monster. And so with that being said, I've decided to modify my 2006 P71 Cobra Roush Tribute Crown Vic and make it the fastest Panther car to ever lay rubber on the Dragon. Or maybe at least third or fourth or fifth place. I'm going to try my best. Now, my setup is going to be a relatively simple and affordable one. For starters, we have this ADTR rear sway bar with upgraded hardware. Next up, we have this ADCO 1.25 inch thick front sway bar from Summit Racing, and it also comes with its upgraded hardware. But I decided to go even further because I got a thicker, and I mean thicker than a Snickers, set of front sway bar links. So everybody's first instinct is going to be to just get an OEM replacement sway bar link for your front sway bar. But that is where I'm going to stop you. What you're going to want to do is head over to O'Reilly's, and here is the part number. Take a good look at it. There's the part number, and I'm going to show you what the difference is between this O'Reilly's part and the OEM Crown Vic part. I mean, the difference should already be very obvious, and that is on the thickness of the shaft here on these links. It might not be much, it is very subtle, but you can definitely tell that this one is a lot thicker than this one. So as you guys can see, there is a thickness difference between this O'Reilly's one and just a regular OEM shaft here that came with our Vics. Look just how much beefier and freaking thick that thing is right there, man, compared to this little twiggy, scrawny little thing. Just go all out, juggernaut out. This is the whole sealed unit, and it just, I mean, dude, I mean, it's just, if you can't see the difference in thickness between these two, I mean, like I said, guys, every little bit helps when you're trying to build these cars on a budget. If you're building your front end with a whole sway bar and that whole, all that goodness, here's the part number again. There you go. Enjoy. Now, I want to give credit to Tyler Hartman for being the one, at least in my opinion, who discovered the fact that there is a certain thickness, that there's a difference between the thickness between the OEM link and that specific link that O'Reilly's sells. The car is already sitting on slotted and drilled rotors all the way around, with new brake calipers and carbon fiber brake pads all the way around. Now, this next mod has not arrived yet. It's going to be a set of Detroit rear lowering springs with a 2-inch drop. And to complement that rear 2-inch drop, I'll also be lowering the front end of the car 2 inches. That way we're not driving a freaking 4x4. Now, if anybody wants to join me at the Dragon, you have to send me a DM on Instagram, and it's going to be at Mr. Random Review. I'm only accepting DMs on Instagram, guys. No Facebook messages or YouTube comments or anything like that. Figured it would weed out some of the people who really don't want to take it as serious. You got to go through the steps. DM me on Instagram. Also, it's going to be sometime in late September. DM me on Instagram for more detailed information on where we're going to meet and the exact date and all that. Only if you're interested, only if you're willing to come out. Remember, it's between two states. It's Tennessee and North Carolina. Look up the tail of the Dragon. That way you kind of know the distance it's away from your actual location. Now I'm going to say it one more time. One more time for those all the way in the back. Okay? This is an extremely dangerous road, so come at your own risk. If you're careless, if you're reckless on the tail of the Dragon, guys, you can wreck your car, and much worse, you could potentially lose your life. With that being said, remember to DM me, Mr. Random Reviews, on Instagram if you guys want to come along for a nice, slow, relaxing cruise through the Smoky Mountains. It's going to be good. I'll catch you guys on the next one.